Namaste. This is Divakar Upadhyay Aryal. I work as a lecturer at the Central Department of English at Tribhuvan University, Kathmandu, Nepal. And in this video, I'm going to read a section from the textbook Everything is an Argument, which has been prescribed in MA English third semester academic writing 2 argumentation course, and which I'm going to teach in tomorrow's class. I have already read once, and I decided to make this video for my students, just in case someone needs this kind of support. And what I'm going to do here is I want to demonstrate my students how to read an academic text. I will read. I have already read it once. Now I'm going to read it again and document my reading, record my reading. And I want to demonstrate how a student at the university should read, or what we mean by active reading, or what we mean by reading for specific information or scanning, what we mean by interactive reading, what we mean by annotated reading, what is academic reading. In a sense, I'll also try to show what might be critical reading. So basically here I'm preparing a material that my students can use to learn how to read academic text, to learn how to read university level text, to learn how to read arguments. Okay. So first of all, I'll focus on the title of the text I'm going to read. It says Chapter 1, Understanding Arguments and Reading Them Critically. So I believe this chapter, I haven't yet checked the whole sections and essays in the chapter, but I read the only first section. This chapter will tell me how I can understand an argument and how I can read them critically. This is very important here. It's not only just reading arguments, but it's about reading arguments critically. David Rothenberg, in his essay, How the Web Destroys the Quality of Students' Research, argues that students are not able to make good arguments because we teachers do not teach them how to think. We teachers do not teach them how to read. We teachers do not teach our students to take time with ideas and language as we read. So let me apply this point. Taking time with the ideas and language as we read. So here the idea is reading something, reading arguments critically. So what might reading an argument mean? What is critical reading? When are you critical? You become critical when you verify a claim in the light of the evidences and reasons which have been furnished to back up the claim. And you check if the reasons are true. You check if the true reasons corroborate the claim. Two things. The reasons have to be true, and not only true, they have to fully support the claim. If these two conditions meet, then you can accept the claim in a reliable way. So as I read this section, I will try to arrive at the claim that this writer makes in this section or in this essay. And then I will try to pinpoint the reasons or evidences that writer brings to support his claim. And then I will ask a question. Are his reasons true? Do they seem to be true or false? And then I'll ask the question, if the reasons are true, do they back up the claim in a logical manner? And then maybe I'll be reading it critically. Then we have a question before we begin. What do you understand by critical reading? The section that I finished reading just now does not discuss what is critical reading, but because I taught a course on critical thinking uh, uh, at bachelor's years, some years back, I have some idea about what is critical thinking. And critical reading can be reading with critical thinking, reading as critical thinker, applying, uh, or let's say postponing our conclusion so that we can verify them against available evidences before we draw our conclusions. So what do you understand by critical reading? Then I see there is a picture, image, and I wonder why this verbal text is accompanied by a visual text. There is a vertical note, Peter Desley Getty Images, source of image. And as I pay attention to the image, I see it looks like the keyboard, but actually a real keyboard does not look like this. If I look at my laptop keyboard here, I do not see those remarks on the keyboards here, right? It is purposefully designed this way to make a meaning. So one key says friends. Maybe if you hit that key, you connect with your friends virtually. You stay in your living room and you get connected to your friends. Then the other key says maybe delete. The other key says tweet. I recently opened my Twitter account. I have made only one post so far in the last 15 days, right? I'm not habituated of posting over Twitter. Then there's a like button. Now I'm quite familiar. On social media, I use it a lot. Like button. Previously, it used to be only like option, but now there are 6, 7 options. You can express emotions, right? Then share button. I use it a lot. I share a lot of stuff, right? Mainly I share academic stuff. Photos. I wish I had a keyboard like that. That keyboard here seems to be a dedicated keyboard for the social media. Networking. Oh, maybe if I press that keyboard, I'll get connected to various things. So now, as I look closely at this image, it gives me a sense that what I'm going to read below will most probably talk a lot about social media. That's the expectation this image builds before I enter the text. This is how this image leads me into the argument. So the writer leads me into the argument with this image. Once again, friends, social media, photos, share, networking, like, thumbs up. And a remarkable thing I wonder is this is a grape color picture. The color is gray. I wonder why it's not in red or bright colors. Okay, let's go down. You can see a lot of comments inserted there using the comment menu uh, feature in Fox It Reader application. So what I did, I read when you wanted updates during a national crisis, where did you go? There are ways of beginning a good essay. According to the book New Directions, there is a section probably on page 104, which is titled The Essentials of Writing, Academic Writing. And in that section, Essentials of Academic Writing, uh, Peter S. Gardner talks about various ways to begin an introductory paragraph while writing an essay. And one of them is beginning your essay with a question. You can begin with a quotation, a verb. You can begin it with a statistics. You can begin your essay with a story. You can begin your essay with an example. Many ways, maybe list 30 ways. I'm not sure. So this section, this essay begins with a question. When you wanted updates during a national crisis, where did you go? Now, 10 minutes before, I wanted to know who has been nominated or which people have been nominated for the presidential elections in Nepal. About 10 minutes before, what I did, I just pressed Alt and Tab button and switched to my social media page. Let me show you right now like this here. I did. And now let me share that page. Let me share that page with you. Let me see, where is my social media page? Do I have? Yes, I do have. Here. And now let me share. Let me share. Yes. You can see I went to this page. Let me refresh the page. I had read another news. Okay, just a minute. Just a minute. Let me refresh it. I don't know. Let me go to the home page. Home page. And now I see Ramchandra Paudel has filed his nomination for the post of president. So when this writer argues that whenever I want an update about any national crisis, national happening, events, incidents as they unfold, where do we go? Truly, we go to social media. So his claim is corroborated by my experience. And whenever a story breaks, this one, today is the day for filing nominations for the election of presidents in Nepal. What news sites do you visit? I don't like Party. I don't like personally. I'm not sorry. I don't like, but I often visit that site because it has the news, breaking news, right? Even if you are on the Facebook or Twitter, actually, I am always logged on to Facebook. And even if something breaks, a news breaks on Party, we can see this on Facebook. And then from Facebook, we reach to that uh, social site, Party news, digital news, Party. Okay. I don't think I'm breaching anyone's copyright because as I read, my habit is I keep listening to peaceful music by my side in our laptop. Okay. So, and whenever a story breaks, what news sites do you visit? Even if you are not on Facebook or Twitter, these privately controlled. Look, now we have the tone of the writer. Now, right here, we are very clear the writer's attitude about social media. Look at use of words. He says privately controlled. This means this writer does not like social media, does not favor. These privately controlled for-profit online media forum, not non-profit. Recently, there was an uproar on social media regarding Rashtriya Swatantra Party scandal of Ravi Lamichhane's citizenship case, and there was a news on social media against newspapers like established newspapers like Kantipur media houses, right? They were charged that they make money, right? So the traditional news houses, media houses are accused of making illicit, illegal money by blackmailing people. And here the argument is that it's online media that make money. And implication is that heritage media like newspaper, magazine, TV, news, books, they don't use news to make money. Do you buy this argument? I don't. I don't. Look the argument. Look the claim. Look the claim. The claim is social media, online media aim at money. Heritage media like newspaper, magazine, they don't aim at money, right? That's not easily digestible. Okay. Even if you are not on Facebook, on Twitter, these privately controlled for-profit online media forums probably influence you now as much or more than so-called It is no doubt. Yes, this claim is very true. Today, social media or online media like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, and many more, email, they influence us much more than heritage media like newspaper. The last time I read a hard paper printed newspaper was maybe 5 years before. I haven't seriously read hard paper printed page newspaper for last 5 years. I haven't bought a paper magazine for last 5 years. If I need to learn something, I just switch on my mobile phone and scroll through the screen and I log on to online media and read, right? It's very true. That is newspapers, magazines, TV, news books, or even your school courses, trendy topics, memes. Sorry, I should read correctly. I read wrongly. Memes, slogans, and political movements start in social media. But many consequential arguments does too these days. So what are the point to note? As you read, you have a pen in your hand and copy. Or if you're using a digital platform like this, I never read hard copies. I never read hard copies. I never make notes on paper. I make notes in my soft copy. You can see here, I have a digital copy of this textbook and I open this textbook in Foxit software platform. And here is a comment section. If I typewriter, if I choose typewriter menu and click, it allows me to insert comments. So what note I make? I say point to note, and I write online forums like Facebook and Twitter influence us now as much or more than so-called heritage media, that is newspapers, magazines, TV news, books, or even your school courses. Online or social media versus heritage media. So this is my note that I will use in my summary response journal. If I'm going to write a summary and response journal essay for my class assignment, so I'll take this point to my journal. Main idea. Again, I write point to note. Many consequential arguments start in social media these days. Although the writer has critical tone about social media, but he concedes that sometimes many important arguments begin at social media, right? And that's very true. Whether it is about the citizenship argument about Ravi Lamichhane, whether it's about who should be president in Nepal, whether it's about Sandeep Lamichhane's case, all arguments start with social media, right? So what I did, I read a paragraph and I made a point to note, right? Besides that, let's go to second paragraph. Social media is beautiful. So why do social media sites work? Another way to understand a paragraph is you finish reading a paragraph and then you think of a question which this paragraph might answer. For example, it says social media sites work because they are interactive. Social media sites work because, and it goes on bringing examples. So, what is the claim? What is the idea? Social media sites often work fine. They work. Detail, or let's say, why do they work? For three reasons. Social media sites work because they're interactive. You can post a comment on uh, digital platform. You can't post a comment in hard copy of Kantipur. You can hit a like button and show your anger to a post in social media. You can't do that in a magazine news article. They're interactive. They're fluid. If you come back to the same site 10 minutes later, you will see that the page has already been updated and the news which was breaking earlier, it has become old and there is another breaking news. Fluid. They, they flow very quickly. Entertaining. As you're reading a serious news, a glamorous picture may pop up and that may take you to another website which talks about sex, for example. Right. So they are you as you're reading a serious piece of news, you may watch a video that imagine in the middle of the news was a beautiful girl is dancing. You may listen to a song You can switch back to YouTube. They are interactive, fluid, entertaining, therefore they work. See the argument. See the claim. Social media work. Claim. Reason. Because they're interactive, fluid, and entertaining. Now, what's critical thinking? Critical thinking is asking, do social media really work because they're interactive, fluid, entertaining? Are they really interactive? Are they really fluid? Are they really entertaining? Or ask question. Yes, they are entertaining. They are fluid. They are interactive. But are they also healthy? Are they educating our society? Okay, social media is interactive, fluid, entertaining. I accept. I concede. But my question is, does social media civilize our society and culture, or does it damage our culture? If you raise questions like this, you read critically because you are challenging the author's claims, beliefs, assumptions while you read. So what I did, I read the writer's assumption, writer's claim that social media is interactive, fluid, and I accept it. But I raised the question, does social media not also have to be uh, uh, healthy? Does it not have to be uh, mm, purposeful? Does it not have to educate our society, uh, civilize our society? Okay. On now you have details, idea, detail. In first semester, you read that the two important things are idea, detail. On Facebook and Instagram, you connect with friends, create groups, support causes, follow celebrities. Look how they're interactive, how the users can interact. You can look example Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You can interact on YouTube also, the YouTube Live. Now connect with friends, create group. I have groups. My students have groups. Support causes. You can raise voice and send message to your friends to sign up. Follow celebrities. We do follow. Share articles. Yes. And live stream. I haven't yet done a live stream, but many people do. Same on Twitter, but quicker. See, yes. I haven't used Twitter much. I don't know how quick Twitter is, but I know one thing that in Twitter you have a limitation. You cannot make a very long post. Your post must have probably not more than 254 words, characters. I mean, 280 characters, right? Not 54. So it is quicker. Just 280 characters per message and enhanced by images, videos, and links, all searchable and archived. It look fluid. It supercharged chatter pulls in people, attractive, entertaining from every walk of life. Talking heads, why entertaining? You can listen to intellectuals, talking heads, interviews, talking heads, politicians, professionals, activists, advocates, extremists, haters, ordinary folks, more women than men. Is that true? Look, that is claim. He says that there are more women in social media than men. Now, do you buy this claim? What is the evidence? If the writer had furnished with a data from a reliable source that out of 1 billion social media users, this much are women, then we would trust it. But there's a claim only. More women than men, more wealthy than poor. Do you agree? Do you think social media is used by wealthy people? Wealthy people, not by poor people. How about what about Tiki or TikTok or Instagram? Right? Anybody uses, right? So digital media has done away with that information gap and with that, you know, digital divide. More progressive than conservatives. If maybe the right is talking about American context. If an 2019 Pew Center report is reliable, okay, he brings a resource. He says that I'm talking on the basis of this Pew Center report. Now, the argument becomes more reliable. Even presidents of the United States use social media. Uh, Joe Biden has a Twitter handle. Mm, the previous president, what was his name? After Barack Obama, that racist guy. Sorry for this this remark, but he made many racist epithets against Asians, right? Okay, so what do? I write idea or claim, right? What idea? What claim? Social media sites work because they are interactive, fluid, and entertaining. Idea or claim? Details or evidences. Point to note. Social media sites work because they are interactive, fluid, and entertaining. Now, if you had critical thinking, you can say, but they have to be healthy. Now, here is a question, a single sentence paragraph. Look, here is a one. I guess this, yes, this should be a new paragraph, or it is not indented. We often teach in academic writing that every paragraph, the first sentence is indented, but I see that in this, they have a new style. They have not indented. Okay. Nothing, what could be wrong with that? Nothing. Nothing is wrong with social media when it works. But social media doesn't always work. Social media today certainly connects more people more effortlessly than even Star Trek writers imagined. I don't know what Star Trek is, maybe a film, a serial, I don't know. I don't have to know understand this paragraph. The point is that social media connects. Yes, I have about 4,000 friends on my Facebook profile page. Right? I have about a few hundred people on my YouTube channel. Uh, and people excited by ideas and arguments are usually a good thing. And people excited by ideas and arguments are usually a good thing. Many Twitter posts, threads, and replies are eliminating, especially early on the discussion. So the writer begins by conceding, accepting that yes, social media is fine, they're working. But look how arguments are written. You first concede to public opinion. You concede to an opinion, and then you disagree. But social media often turns ugly. Yes, social media works, but so do many things. Ganja works, but it's ugly. Alcohol might work sometimes, it's ugly. Forgery may work, it's ugly. Not everything that works is good. That's the argument. Not everything that works is good. Even things which work smoothly might be ugly. See the argument. Main idea or claim. But social media often turns ugly. Trolls post toxic items, driving people into opposing camps where ideas are not so much engaged as mugged. What do you mean by mugging an idea? See, let me write here. See the point here. Let me write. Academic arguments engage you in good reasoning, right? Then mm, shallow social media arguments. Okay, wait. But people on social media do not engage with ideas. They rather mug them. Let me check the meaning of the word mug. Busy as a bee, modal verb, phrasal verb, free bird sound, mud. No, that's not the meaning I'm checking. Okay, just a minute. Okay. A person easily deceived. To pose or make faces, especially to attract attention or for a camera to assault usually, yes. This is the meaning. To attack suddenly. Let me take this meaning to the page and insert in a comment section. Oh, I don't know if you could, if you're seeing my page, I forgot to share it. Here we are. So mug to attack suddenly. Have you seen when you make a post, the comment section, they 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 attack you, right? They don't listen to you, they attack you. Okay. So trolls post toxic items, driving people into opposing camps. Sandeep Lamisane camp and people supporting the victim camp, or people supporting Ravi Lamisane, people supporting the court's decision. And in the camps, they don't entertain the idea, they don't engage in a debate, they attack on the ideas. Look, in the academy, we engage in a debate. Even if we disagree, we listen to people. And their argument is, these writers say, in social media, people don't engage in a debate. Now, as a critical thinker, what is critical reading? Here is a claim. People on social media do not engage with an idea. They assault it. Claim. Now, do you agree that people on social media do not engage with an argument? I'll disagree. Because when you make a post, have you seen? A lot of people engage with the idea. In the comment section, if you see, yes, no doubt, many people might attack your idea. They might deride you. Some people might abuse you, no doubt. But you will also find people who engage with that idea. They agree, disagree, give reasons. So this writer's argument that people do not engage with ideas on social media, I'll disagree. I don't fully buy this argument that people don't agree, people don't engage with ideas on social media, right? If you read like this, you are reading as a critical reader because you are challenging the writer's claims. You are verifying. You ask, what is the evidence to support that people assault all the time? Yes, they do assault, but not always. Okay. Nuances disappear. Bad motives are assumed. Look, this writer is pointing out the drawbacks of social media because his purpose is in this whole argument. The writer's purpose is comparing academic arguments and arguments in the social media and arguing that arguments in the academy are more important because they're extended, they're based on hard work, they bring true evidences, true reasons, and they corroborate the claims. They are made by reliable people spending months doing research, bringing trustworthy authorities to back up their claims. So arguments in academy are more reliable than arguments social media. That's the argument they're making. And I know because I've read this already once. Okay. Nuances disappear, bad motives are assumed, evidence is skewed, identity politics reign. Very true. You see people open profile pages, accounts without showing their faces, and they make racial slurs on media. And public shaming is practiced. Look, public shaming, insulting people in public, right? You had this example with Lamichane case as well. Both Lamichanes, whether Ravi or Sandeep, shaming. The girl was shamed on media. The cricketer was shamed on media, right? Usually with the intent of muffling debate. Look, Very important. What is muffle? In a motorcycle, you have a muffler. What is muffler? That exhaust pipe that releases the air, sorry, the smoke from the exhaust, the engine, combustion engine. And that muffler softens the pumping sound of the engine. So muffling debate means, you know, uh, 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 if you muffle a debate, you cool it down. You you try to temper it, influence it with an intent. Like, look, I'm muffling my voice. No, you cannot listen to me clearly. Muffling. That's how you get the word muffler. In the winter, you put on muffler, right? Muffle to cool it down, to cover, to make it less audible, right? So social media, the argument here is social media does not encourage healthy debate. It rather muffles debate. See the argument the author is making. Taylor Lawrence described the environment in the Atlantic in 2018. Look, this is an academic text prescribed in a university course around the world in many places. And you see the nature of academic writing. The writer makes a claim and corroborates the claim with a scholarly evidence, scholarly authority. Taylor Lawrence is an authority. An authority in academic reading and writing is an evidence you bring to back up your claim. Taylor Lawrence described the environment in the Atlanta source, where the evidence, source, the container where this evidence is coming from, Atlantic, when in 2018. This is a quotation, see, this is a quotation. It is put within inverted comma to make it more reliable. As trolls and bad actors have weaponized social media, sites like Twitter, abuse and harassment campaigns can become mechanisms for spreading misinformation and decisive political content. There's a quotation. The writer could have summarized the quote. The writer could have paraphrased the gist. Paraphrased the quote or given the gist. Why did the writer decide to quote exact words? Maybe to show that this argument on this book, in this book on this page, is an extended academic argument. And you see, now understand arguments. What are academic arguments? Academic arguments involve academic sources, academic authorities, where writers not only make claims, they back up their claims with reliable authority, reliable evidence. Okay. So because this writer's purpose in this paragraph was to say that social media often turns ugly. This was the idea. And he brought this evidence to support that idea. Claim, social media often turns ugly. Claim, reason. Here is a reason. Evidence, a quotation. Reason why social media turns ugly? Because it is it contains trolls. It is used as a weapon. It is used to abuse people. It is used to harass people. It is used to muffle debate. It is used to shame others. It is used for political campaign. It is used to spread identity politics. It is used to temper an evidence. It is used with bad motive. It is used to attack an idea. Therefore, social media is ugly. Social media is ugly because A, B, C, D, E, one structure. Because A, B, C, D, E, therefore social media is ugly. See the structure. You read this kind of thing in the book Critical Thinking in BA third-year-old course, if you remember. The therefore test we read, right? If you remember. We belong to old 3-year BA course. Okay, now I may point here. Social media turns ugly, right? And all right, academic arguments engage you in good reasoning, but people on social media do not engage with ideas. They or rather mug them. They attack suddenly. Here I write details or reasons to support the claim. Point to note, main idea or claim. I underline. The argument so far is A but B, so C. Here I write the argument so far. Nothing is wrong with social media, A, until it works, but B, it often turns ugly. That is why, now this next paragraph, so many people walk away from social media. This is the argument this author is making. Argument of the argument. Understanding argument. This is how we take time with ideas. This is how we read arguments and try to understand arguments. Dear student, read like this. Okay. So, how sweet music by the side laptop. Someone is playing their flute. It's so soothing for me to make me go on with this tedious reading. No, it's not tedious. I'm enjoying. So, for good reason, many people walk away from. Now, look, he said, many people walk away because social media is ugly. And he says, they have good reason to walk away. This writer is against social media. We'll see. So, for good reason, many people walk away from such forums. Such forum. See, this is a backward reference. What does such forum mean? Previously mentioned, like, let me draw an arrow and show you how we read. See, what brings connection between paragraphs? He said such forums, and such forum means one, Twitter, another, you can go up and see Facebook. Yeah. Such forum means Twitter. And when you write a pronoun, I mean a word, such forum, which stands for the word Twitter, then this paragraph is understood only when you can connect the idea with the previous paragraph. And this connection is what creates coherence among paragraphs. In a good writing, one paragraph looks back to another paragraph and looks ahead to another paragraph. A paragraph looks back and looks ahead, right? It looks back because it is carrying an idea from the previous paragraph, looks ahead because it is hinting what you can read in the next paragraph. Okay. So for good reason, many people walk away from such forums. Writing in the New York Times, now look, claim, conclusion in this paragraph. How many paragraphs we read? One. Let me note here. One, two, single line paragraph 3, 4, 5, we come to 6. So he wrote 5 paragraphs, and in the 6th paragraph, he draws his conclusion. Is the last paragraph? Let's check. Not. We have yet one more paragraph. So 5 paragraphs gave reasons for something, why social media is bad. The 6th paragraph draws a conclusion. So for good reason, many people walk away from such forums, writing in the New York Times. Now look, this writer is comparing social media with heritage media, established media like New York Times. So Facebook versus New York Times. Twitter versus New York Times. Maggie Haberman explained her own decision to leave Twitter, describing previously said that people are leaving social media like Twitter because it's ugly. Here gives an evidence. Maggie Haberman From where? From New York Times. Writing New York Times, Maggie Haberman explained her own decision to leave Twitter, describing it as an again quotation. See, in academic writing, you often quote an anger video game for many users. I've never played a video game, but I've seen some videos on YouTube where they show what happens when you play too much video game. An anger video game for many users. It is the only platform on which people feel free to say things they would never say to someone's face. See the argument. So social media functions like a what do you call lubricating. You can say anything there. Do you agree that people can say anything in social media? I don't think. The moment you make a post, reactions start. People agree, disagree, and sometimes I have to delete my post because people start giving the reasons of disagreement. Okay, but I agree that many times people express their anger over the social media. Very true. I often spill my anger, political frustration on social media. I've stopped doing so for some months. I used during elections. I would often vent my anger over social media, right? So what I cannot say to someone on face, I can say it in a comment box. Okay. So this paragraph has a conclusion, details, and the main idea. Now here you see how two paragraphs can be united, connected, coherence. Look here. In the seventh paragraph, let me place the number 7 here. Seventh paragraph begins with the pronoun her critique. To understand the meaning of her, you must go back to the sixth paragraph and see the word Maggie Haberman. Her means Maggie Haberman. So this pronoun, which makes a backward reference to paragraph 6, this pronoun in paragraph 7 makes a backward reference to a noun in paragraph 6 and thereby connects paragraph 6 and 7, thereby creates a coherence in the essay. This is how you write better, more effective writing, right? Look, as we're reading, we're also understanding the qualities of good writing because this piece we're reading is an example of writing. These writers took time and effort to write it, and we're reading. A good reading piece, example of good writing. Okay, let's continue. Her critique resonates because now this author is agreeing with Maggie Haberman. This writer is taking sides with Maggie Haberman and her argument that social media is ugly. Her critique resonates because arguments of this sort we encourage in this book. They're justifying. These authors are justifying how their book is valuable. Because arguments of the sort we encourage in this book work best with open-minded audiences willing to listen to others. Look, previously they said on social media, people rarely listen to others. Do you agree? To a great extent, people don't listen. But it's not that always people don't listen. They do listen and respond and react. Okay. So I will encourage, dear student, if you're watching, I'll encourage you to understand the argument here and write a counter argument because the topic is understanding arguments and analyzing them and reading critically. Her critique resonates because arguments of this sort we encourage in this book work best with open-minded audiences willing to listen to others. Okay. Our critique resonates because arguments of the sort we encourage in this book work best with open-minded audiences willing to listen to others. And look, the tone. Here you get the tone. This writer is implicitly supporting academic arguments by implying that academic arguments are made by open-minded people and thereby implying that people on social media are not open-minded. They easily lose their temper when someone disagrees with them. And they have fist fighting than intellectual debate. There's more fist fighting. Have you seen the program Dhamala Ko Hamala? How two people start fighting? That's social media. I don't think two scholars in the academy will fight like that if they're debating on an issue. However, they may disagree with one another. Right? Our critique resonates because arguments of the sort we encourage in this book work best with open-minded audiences willing to listen to this. So the argument is that in the academy, scholars are open-minded and they listen to others even when they don't agree with them. Writers who insult and bully are neither arguing nor persuading. Now, this is about social media. And the implied meaning is that writers on social media, they often insult others. They bully others. And insulting your opponent is not arguing. Bullying your opponent is not arguing. I remember sometimes when I make a post in my message box, personal message box, threats appear, insulting and abusing me, bullying me. And sadly, see the tone. Sadly, habits of social media corrupt culture at large. This is a big charge these writers make on social media. Do you agree? Do you think social media corrupt culture? I won't agree. Have you seen? Have you seen the value of social media in democracy? The value of social media in republic. Social media is the media of the ordinary person. Media houses have their own political motivations. A farmer plowing his field, if he has a mobile phone with connectivity, can make a post and express his views about the government's decision. How? Because of social media. So the argument that social media corrupts culture at large, this is debatable. And to the student, you can pause the video, take this note, habits of social media corrupt culture at large, and write a few paragraphs disagreeing with it or agreeing with it. Here's a debate. Do habits of social media corrupt culture at large? What does culture mean? Maybe they're talking about high culture, elite culture versus popular culture, layman's culture, right? Big questions. But this is a claim as a critical thinker. Now, what is critical reading? What is critical reading? Critical reading is pausing here at this sentence, noting it down, circling the whole sentence, and writing a question mark. Does it? Do they? Do habits corrupt our culture? And then thinking counterclaims, counter arguments, how social media helps civilize our culture by spreading awareness. Look, today, social media platform can be used to bring awareness against many social evils. Can you think 5 points to back up the idea that social media civilizes society, not corrupts? Move ahead. Shallow ideas get attention without hard work. Yes, shallow ideas might get attention, but people instantly oppose them. Let me show you. Right now, as an example, here on my Facebook page, here is a post one of my friends makes. Let me share this before to make sure you can see it. Okay. Now, if I go here, look here, I placed my cursor on the like button. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can like it, like. I can show my love to this idea, this post. I can show I care about the view. I can show my contempt by laughing, haha. I can show my exclamation, wow, or surprise, positive surprise. I can show sadness reading this news. I can show anger. Look, so what these authors are saying here, what they're saying here, let me share the page again, that it only corrupts. I won't agree. Shallow ideas get attention without hard work. They not only get attention, they are liked, they are loved, they are laughed at, they are mocked at, they are disliked, right? In contrast, responsible, look, shallow arguments versus responsible arguments. See the debate here. Shallow arguments in the media. Media makes shallow arguments. Social media, particularly online media, makes shallow argument. But then New York is online. New York Times is online, I mean. Washington Post is online, I mean. Right? But they are focusing on Facebook and Twitter. Particularly this section attacks on two media, Facebook and Twitter. Shallow ideas get attention without hard work. Once somebody told me, sir, you switched to Twitter. I said, why? And I said, Facebook is not so, respectful. It's not good people's platform. It's not intellectuals platform. I said, why? He said, Twitter, Twitter. Scholarly people are on Twitter. You should be on Twitter. The moment you open a Twitter handle, you become intellectual. Oh God, I was surprised, right, to hear this. Shallow ideas get attention without hard work. In contrast, responsible arguments in the academy require clear and nuanced claims. The implication is that Twitter and Facebook posts, arguments over there, they do not make clear claims. They do not make distinguishable claims, clear and nuanced claims backed by sound reasons. Academic arguments make clear, nuanced claims backed by sound argument. Arguments over social media don't have this quality. Are reliable, convincing evidence. They are produced by writers who respect their readers. Implication: writers over social media do not respect readers, even those with differing views. In the academic argument, you concede people disagreeing with you. You respond to them. You concede your limitations. You tell what you do not know. You respect differing views. And academic arguments take time to write an academic journal article. You spend a year, 6 months. I have never written one. Right? My friends do. They are scholarly people. And they take time and effort. You revise. It goes on through blind peer review. That's why it becomes trustworthy. That's why it earns ethical appeal. Right? What we did, we read. Then you can see the margin. I've used color coding. Different color means different idea. This paragraph compares and contrasts arguments on social media and in the academy. Academic arguments, social media arguments, irresponsible arguments that people make on social media, shallow ideas, no hard work. What's wrong with arguments on social media? Harmful effect of social media on the culture at large. Responsible arguments in the academy, clear, nuanced claims, sound reason, reliable, convincing evidence, respect readers, respect different views, take time and effort. I'm scanning and making notes in the margin. This is called annotated reading, interactive reading, active reading, critical reading. Okay. So now let's move to paragraph 8. Sweet music by the side. Okay. Yes, people can be swayed by very short messages. Somebody said earlier that, but Twitter can allow you to hear. Somewhere he said, where they talked about Twitter. Somebody said that Twitter accounts sway people earlier, right? Leave that. Maybe here. Same on Twitter, but quicker. Edit character per message and enhanced by images, videos, and things, all searchable and achieved. Leave that. Come back. Yes, people can be swayed by very short messages. If that were not the case, we would not have so many words for clever remarks. You see the tone. Clever remark is not a good word, it's sarcastic. The phrase clever remark is sarcastic. Apothegms, what is that? Apothegm is a short, pithy, and instructive saying or formulation. Axioms, bon mots, epigrams, maxims, quips, witticisms. Let's not go for the meaning. And yes, genuine persuasion can occur even in social media when strong claims are endorsed by rational authorities. Often we don't have genuine persuasion, but sometimes social media can have genuine persuasion. When there are strong claims endorsed by rational authorities, backed by links to convincing evidences, images and videos. Like you have a Twitter post and it has links to reliable sources and you trust. A Twitter storm can sometimes be welcome as rain after drought. See the metaphorical expression, figurative language. A Twitter storm can sometimes be welcome as rain. Maybe let's say something that is trending on Twitter, a news that is trending on Twitter can be compared like drizzling rain after drought. Okay, this is an academic writing, and I see the first time I saw literary device being used, a figure of speech. Academic writing is so dry sometimes. But more than ever, it is important to understand that. But again, look, and yes, but see the connection. I'm also showing, as I'm reading these paragraphs, I'm also showing you what is a good writing and how coherence is created in a piece of writing, essay. Let's say this is a 9 paragraph essay, and how all the paragraphs hang together tightly. What connects them? Okay, and yes, yes, and yes, A, but then B. Structure. Yes, A, and yes, B, but only sometimes. Yes, Facebook is popular. Yes, Twitter is popular, but only sometimes when strong claims are backed by authorities. See the structure of argument. But more than ever, it is important to understand what extended argument looks like and how its strategies help to civilize our world. Now he says, yes, arguments over social media can sway people, but they don't civilize people. Social media arguments might sway people, but definitely they don't civilize people. It's only academic arguments like the ones in this book that civilize people. But more than ever, it is important to understand what external arguments look like and how its strategies help to civilize our world. It makes more durable connections between people than can 280 characters pounded on the fly into a keyboard, pounded on the fly quickly. Now, what's my comment? Oh, a shallow argument over social media versus an extended argument in the academy in this para. Hey, student, can you refute this claim? What claim? The claim that academic arguments help to civilize our world and arguments social media don't help to civilize our world. An extended argument helps civilize our world and makes durable connections between people than social media posts. Can you go against the argument? Can you say how social media arguments also can civilize our world? Here, the implication is that social media arguments uh, they corrupt our culture. Look here. Here it says extended arguments civilize our world, right? A claim in favor of extended academic argument. Go up and see what he writes here. Habits of social media corrupt culture at large. Social media corrupts culture. Academic arguments civilize culture. See the argument now. you come to the conclusion. Social media corrupts culture. Academic arguments civilize culture. This is the main argument. Do you agree? If you want to apply critical reading, now pick up. Social media habits corrupt culture, but extended arguments in the academy civilize our world. What is a mark? Agree, give reasons. Disagree, give reasons. And please, you pause the video and write few paragraphs. Okay, and we have come to the end of this section. And what I was trying to do is I was demonstrating you how I read while I'm preparing for my class. Tomorrow I have a class with you, and this is how I read. And I record it to show you. You too should read like this. No, I don't mean read exactly like this. People have ways of reading, and I demonstrated one way of reading. So I have some questions. You can do them. What is the claim that the writer makes? Let's write here again. The big claim we understand now. Okay. Habits of the social media corrupt culture at large, whereas extended arguments and their strategies help to civilize our world. I tried to summarize the whole 8 paragraphs major claim, the central thesis this way. I'll say this is the central idea that these 8 paragraphs discuss. So what was the section we were reading titled? Understanding arguments and reading them critically. So I tried to read them critically. I understood. What did I do? I separated claims from reasons from evidences. I separated claims from counterclaims. I separated delimitations. I separated authorities. So I pointed quotation marks and scholars mentioned there. I separated details and ideas. In the margins, I noted down main points. I noted down claims versus evidences, reasons. And at times, not very often, at times, I tried to challenge an idea. And finally, let me challenge this idea. What? Habits of the social media corrupt culture at large, whereas the extended argument and their strategies help to civilize our world. Now, as a critical thinker, raise questions. Do really social media habits corrupt our culture? And try to think some points to support that no, social media habits do not corrupt our culture. Give reasons. Social media habits do not corrupt our culture. They enhance our culture. They promote social harmony. They promote social awareness. They promote democratic values. And social media has become more important today because, gradually, because of social media, ordinary people are practicing political power. Ordinary people have got a forum to express their views. Today, every citizen, even a farmer, has become like a member of the legislature. From his mobile phone, he can type in his opinion. And the government makes a decision midnight. Next morning, on social media, people express their furor over it, disagreeing. By the afternoon, the government revokes the decision. Have you seen the power of social media? How can you say social media corrupts society and culture? Can you think more? This is the claim these authors are making. And to become a critical reader, think about points how you can disagree with it and where you can agree. So write an essay on this topic. Habits of social media corrupt culture at large, Whereas extended, okay. Take your position either in support or against this argument and give reasons. Now, this is your assignment at the end of this writing assignment. Here I stop. Now I will post this to my YouTube channel. If anybody is watching, and if you watch this far, I don't know how many people have the patience to watch this far. Please do subscribe my channel. If I have more subscribers, I'll be encouraged to make such posts. I make academic posts to benefit students and anybody interested in education and academic things. Thank you. Please do leave comments below.